Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good? What's good? What's good? Sorry I'm late. Well, you know, I was shoving at least a snack down my throat. So how's it going? It's been an eventful day. It has. It's been an eventful few days. I'll give it that. Invested in yourself today. And there's yes, there's no. Doing it now. And that's it. Oh, no. There you go. That's tonight's question. So yeah, it's been a good couple of days. Max Salas says he has invested in himself today. That's what I'm talking about. Let me just bring up the crypto tracker. Where are my notes? Like seriously, literally just got finished eating. I don't even have anything to drink right now. Which sucks, but that's all right. That's all right. If you see me pass out, just, you know, it'll be live. So there was a lot of news. We got BlackRock, Grayscale, Ethereum, Tether, GMX. So remember I told you about that hack yesterday? Well, they returned 90% of that money and then gave the rest to Tornado Cash, or processing it through Tornado Cash, something like that. But they gave 90% of the money back. That was nice of them. Now, if I'm a bank, you should probably buy GMX, understand what happened, and fix it, and then you'll have yourself an exchange. Oh, snap. Ham's house in the house talking about he invested quite a bit in himself today. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to have a long show today. I'm not. I got a lot of work on the plate, and it's just a long day. So there's that. So yeah, we got BlackRock, Grayscale, Ethereum, Tether, GMX, the national debt, the US dollar's decline, and banks with one deficient rating are still going to be called good banks. Yeah. That's when I tell you we're on a path to repeat 2008, that's another sign that we're on the path to repeat 2008. Banks with one deficient rating could still be considered well managed under a new Federal Reserve proposal aiming to streamline regulatory oversight and reduce banking sector fragmentation. No, a bunch of people cried and yelled and bitched about it, and so they're changing the rules because there's the perfect regime right now to be able to do that. There you go. Along with other things being pulled back, you know, for banks, I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, I don't know that I'm gonna trust a bank. Not a traditional bank, that's for damn sure. But I don't think I'm gonna trust banks at all. I'm keeping enough money to pay the bills. That's it. In banks, enough money to pay the bills. I'm not giving them anything extra. Nothing extra. Right? Savings account. What do you get? 0.000. I'm not going through that. No. You can get a high net worth savings account. I mean, but still, I don't know that I don't know that I want anything to do with banks with my money, because if they lose it, you might get it back, you might not, depending on how much money you have in there. And to make it special, you don't know when you're going to get it back. So I have no love for banks and the way they've been operating as of late. It seems like all of the major corporations out there are operating for the almighty fiat. For the almighty fiat. They don't care about the people that they're supposed to be serving. So yeah, nah. I'm not touting anything about banks. They serve a purpose. Let them serve their purpose and nothing beyond. Right? Think about that. If banks just serve their purpose and you gave them enough money to serve their purpose for you, and you took the rest of that money and you invested it somehow, some way, somewhere, wouldn't you be in a better place? Potential to earn more money, more safety, a little bit less risk from banks, because banks are doing wild stuff. I mean, a bank goes belly up. I mean, so what's the deal with that bank? Yeah, I just washed my hands. I had ribs for dinner, and not home cooked, so they weren't. They were okay. They were satisfying for like you're driving home from a long trip and you need something to eat kind of deal. Not nasty tasting. Just, they're not yours. They're just not yours. So it's all right. So yeah. So now with a deficiency rate. Now I want you to think about this. Deficiency is bad. Like that's one of the worst things that you could do is have a deficiency. Look up the word deficiency. They mean that. But you could still be considered a good bank. You have a deficiency and you could still be considered a well-managed bank. That's good evening, Leroy. Have you invested in yourself tonight? So that's a problem to me. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be evil, mean, or anything else like that. But you have a bank that has a deficiency in anything. Processes, operations, all that stuff. And you could still be considered a well-managed bank. We just saw an article a couple of weeks ago where 2 bank employees colluded for over 10 years to steal from the bank. 10 years. 10 years. So it's like every other week we're hearing something not so great about banks. Does that instill trust? Not from me. Not from me. So yeah, I'm not feeling the whole bank idea. I am not feeling the bank idea. So that's a problem. That is a major problem. So, like I said, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately, right? Investment is money management. Sad to say, but your bank is a part of that money management process. Know how I keep talking to you about, risk frameworks and everything? Well, there you go. I'm not playing. I'm serious. Everything carries risk. You get an IRA, there's a risk. You get a bank account, there's a risk. Get a savings account, there's risk. Checking account, there's risk. Buy stocks, there's risk. Everything carries a risk. Have kids? Woo! You've got risk. You've got risk. They start off real cute and cuddly and all that stuff with the big fat cheeks, and you pinch them and you cuddle them and all that good stuff. Risk. Driving around in your car, risk. So all jokes aside, you need to learn how to manage your risk. Hence, you need to have a risk framework of some sort. There has to be something there. There must be something there. Because there's nothing going on right now, but you could actually look up. I forgot where it was in the United States government. You could actually look up who's got what, ratings against them, for them, all that stuff. Breaches, deficiencies, needs improvement type stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And you can look it up. It's all right there. It's out there. Would you skydive if the chance of survival was the same odds as divorce? No. Ricky Ricardo. That's funny. Have you invested in yourself today is the first question to answer. So yeah, I think about that. Then you've got the U.S. dollar's decline is attributed to a loss of confidence in the United States trade and fiscal policies, according to a vice president at a major private banking firm. Yeah. I told you, what was it, yesterday or the day before, that I was listening to Joe Kernan and somebody was saying the same thing. It was like, I've been hearing that for a long time. It's nothing. I'm like, dude, you're hearing it from people in the industry. They're like, hey, these are facts. Other countries are not looking at the United States and going, oh boy. No, that's not what they're doing. That is not what they're doing. They're looking at us and we used to be a safe haven, and they're not looking at us as a safe haven anymore. safe haven for their assets. They're rethinking things, recalculating things, reviewing their risk frameworks. Yeah. So that's a realistic output, a realistic, verdict from somebody. It's like, hey, this is real. Just think about that. I know I do. Some people ask me, how come you talk about things on an international level? Well, because money moves internationally. Simple as that. Money moves internationally. What happens over there can affect over here. What happens over here can affect over there, over there, over there, over there, and over there. It's all interrelated. All of it. So you should know what's going on in those other countries. You should look up news in those countries. Not the news about those countries in this country. No. Go look up news sources from those countries. What's going on? Yeah. What are they saying to their people? Got to know what's going on everywhere. You got to get it, right? Again, doing your own research, knowing your entries and exits, and absolutely investing deliberately demands that you understand what's going on. You're not going to know everything. There are macro events, micro events, mini micro events. There are things that happen that you're not going to be able to put your hands on everything. But at the very least, you should understand, well, what are the biggest economies around the world? How are those economies doing? What are their pluses? What are their minuses? What things are they looking at? Case in point, everybody looks at Asia because they wake up before we do. So everybody looks at Asia before our markets open. Facts. Why shouldn't you? That's what all the big firms are doing. Why shouldn't you? I told you there was one time I woke up and Asia markets had plummeted. I was out. Poof. I was out. I waited. Things settled. Came to the United States. United States buckled. And I bought a few things because I had gotten out before everybody realized. So I got out, came down a little bit, got back in, increased my value. Remember, it was a few weeks ago. I told you guys I was up in the middle of the night, went to the bathroom, reached over, grabbed my phone, looked at the phone. I gotta move, and that's exactly what I did. When you start to connect all of the dots, you start to see it. You start to see it. Chicano, what's good, man? Have you invested in yourself today? So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we pay attention to that I'm kind of like, I'm going to be eyes wide open on this. Something else that eyes wide open. I'm going to read this to you. It's my notes. U.S. national debt surges to $38.47 trillion in just 1 week, shattering a new all-time high amid rising federal spending and economic pressures. What's that federal spending? That's right. Tax cuts for the rich and wealthy and institutions and major corporations. They all get to pay less and everybody else gets to pay more. Yeah. See how that's working? Wasn't it just a little while ago national debt was 36 trillion? Now we're at $38 trillion. And we opened up the checkbook, not the checkbook, but we opened up the debt book. The debt book to say, oh yeah, we'll tack on another $5 trillion to the debt ceiling. Do you see how that works? How many times have we raised the debt ceiling? That's all it was about. Oh, we got to raise the debt ceiling. We got to raise the debt ceiling. Nobody stopped to say, well, how about we stop spending? How about we stop giving away these honeypot contracts? Well, not honeypot, but these big honey contracts. Honeypot has a technical term, that's why. Why? We need to cut that out. But we didn't. We kept spending and spending and spending as if it was growing on trees, flowing like Niagara. Like what? For those of you in different countries, Niagara Falls. Go look it up. hundreds of thousands of gallons of water going over the edge every second. We were spending like that was money. Really. So yeah, you start to realize that's not a good thing. There's nothing bueno about that. And you start to realize, yeah, we're not doing such a good job. Who's actually managing the debt? Who's coming up with a plan? I keep asking, where's the plan for us to get rid of our debt? You know what they're saying? Oh, we'll grow out of our debt. We'll grow. You're going to grow by charging the working class more in taxes and collecting less from the people that can afford it, less from corporations. You know what? Even remove the people that can afford it. You keep giving tax write-offs to major corporations. Oh, we're going to bring jobs. Are they really? I keep seeing jobs being hemorrhaged out to India and every place else. India, Budapest, everywhere except here. Makes you stop and wonder. How do we grow? How do we get that back? India is not exporting jobs. They're exporting bodies, and they're coming out to different countries and taking jobs. It's funny. The narrative here is that, Mexicans are coming here and they're taking your jobs. I don't see a lot of people lining up for those farm jobs. I really don't. So now food is going to cost more because there's nobody farming. Yeah. Everything has a follow-on effect. It's not a political problem because both parties are a part of this in the United States. So it's not a party thing, it's a government thing. So now we have a problem. A $38.47 trillion problem. And so how do we handle this? On a personal level, I'm practicing the GMB3. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at anything else other than GMB3. As much research as I can, understanding my entries and exits, right? Not just the price points that I can get in and get out, but how I get in and get out. What's the path to get in? What's the path to get out? And I'm cognizant that the path in is not necessarily as the same as the path out. Just saying. So there are things that we need to pay attention to, and I'm hoping that people will get over it. I have no idea who you are, but we're going to delete that message because we don't talk about that here. Simple as that. We don't shill coins. So there's that. So yeah, I think about things. Your sentence was hard to read, but I finally understood it, Hutanic. I finally understood it. BlackRock's IBIT vaults over $80 billion in assets, breaking the ETF speed record by surpassing previous benchmarks in fund inflows and adoption. Yeah. That's the Bitcoin version. Ethereum seems to be following. You know who's not following? Solana. Although there are a lot of companies out there that are calling themselves Solana treasury firms, and I'm just like, what does that even mean? It just means you went out and you bought a lot of Solana in the hopes that it'll go up. Nothing to be sorry about. You might not have known. Do you know what I mean? You might not have known. And that's one particular coin that we definitely don't talk about because it's, yeah. That's, The decentralization level is what I have a problem with that. That's why I have a problem with that. I guess AI, robots, and 3D printing sound like more job loss along with growing out of debt. So you can print a house. You can 3D print a house. There are machines out there that do that right now. AI and automation can completely replace project managers. Some project managers will tell you, "Oh no, it can't. No, it can't. No, yes, the hell it can." I worked at a company once. I didn't have AI back then. I worked at a company once, and I put project management into an Excel spreadsheet, and I just had the managers of each department punch in certain fields, and it would give me everything, a whole thing about what's going on in the organization. Pretty big organization too, financial services firm. So imagine what I'd be able to do with AI and automation. You're being replaced. There are jobs out there that are being replaced. There are jobs out there that are using you to train the data you don't even realize. Using you to train the data, train the the LLMs to replace you. Everybody says AI, but the biggest thing about AI is automation, actually. It's like when you're listening to music, and if you're somebody that likes bass, you know the whole thing about bass is treble. Yeah, it's like that. It's like a sleeper that completely enhances what's going on. So when you look at real estate brokers, I need a place where I can, post up my property, and I can write a bot that will do all the research for all the properties that I'd ever want and send it to me and give me all the down and dirty about any given neighborhood. You want to keep it to jobs? Okay, let's keep it to jobs. Project managers are going to be gone. Assistants are going to be gone. You know what assistants are called now? They're called agents. They're called agents. I can program an agent that will manage your schedule. I can program an agent that will read your email, respond to your email, and just let you know about what's necessary. Is it 100% perfect? Not even close. But can it do the job? Oh. I can even make it so that it sends you the email first. This is what I want to send. Let me know if I should send it or not, or edit it. Yeah. So you went from being a secretary to an administrative assistant to a bot. Customer service. You know how many companies out there are using that for customer service? By the time you get to a human being, people don't want to admit it, but some of these customer service agents are really good, and they solve your problem before you get to a human being. That's all you want at the end of the day. I really do want to talk to a human being, but at the end of the day, I kind of don't need it. Right? You're welcome, Leroy. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to be honest with you. This is why I keep telling you guys, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately, because investing is going to be a necessity. Investing is going to become a necessity. I want you to let that wash over you for a minute. Think about that. How many of you, when they talk about jobs, right? How many of you have two jobs? You got a regular job and you do a little something on the side for a little bit extra. That's two jobs. Whether it's I do resumes on the side, or I do hair on the side. I mean, I don't. I can barely shave my damn self. But you see what I mean? Those little things that you go, oh, I got this. I can knock that out real quick. That's two jobs. That's two jobs. And then you have your family stuff that you have to do. Customer service at the self-help center. That turns into a kiosk. Dead serious. Turns into a kiosk. You shouldn't ever be away from the GMB 3. It touches everything. Thank you, Paula. It does. I'm here to educate you about reality. I'm here to share some information with you about reality, and I'm hoping that you'll share some information with me about reality. I don't worry about the market going up. I don't worry about the market going down. I worry about how I react to those things. right? So the more research I have, the more prepared I am. When you lose your job, what are you going to do? Are you going to panic? Have you already started taking a look at your skills and what you're going to do with those skills, how those skills might be able to get you money in the future? I've been a certified project manager for 24 years, 25 years. And you've got to maintain education in it and the whole nine. And that can cost you time and money. And now you're looking at a period of time where, yeah, that could go away real fast. Real fast. That job won't completely go away, but it will be diminished. There'll be far less people in that space. Far less. Accountants? Math is easy for a computer. Couple that with AI, and you teach AI about all the laws in your country, and now that accounting job doesn't sound so for sure anymore, right? Attorneys, doctors, accountants. That's what it was back in the day, right? Those were the jobs. Those are not the jobs anymore. An attorney, you better be a good one. An accountant, oof, you better be an outstanding one. Remember I told you that, there are some really good accountants at various levels, right? And what I mean by levels is, this person is an accountant, but most of their clients are people that earn less than $100,000. They're not going to be up to snuff to be able to say, oh, you could use the Augusta rule because you own a house, you own a business, They're not going to know that because they don't come across it enough to remember it. They know about it because they learned about it, but it's not something that's going to be at the top of mind. Now, if you train a bot will know that. You'd be able to tell the bot, here's all my accounting information in the spreadsheet or QuickBooks, you spit it out, boom. And next thing you know, that bot's telling you everything it can do. Everything you can do. So I tell people, as much as you're looking at, investing, you've got to step up your skills because you still have to have that income to be able to even DCA, right? That little extra that everybody's looking for, why they have these second jobs. Oh, well, if I get this second job, I can afford a car, or I can afford this, I can afford that. I'll be able to eat. Everybody was driving Ubers, right? I think I'm playing. Well, robo-taxis are out. Waymo's out. And then you sit there and you kind of go, holy crap, that's right. Waymo's about to come to New York City. All these automated taxis. They'll drive within the speed limit. Less traffic problems. They'll tell you what the traffic is like. All of that. Those driving jobs are going to go away. Automated tractor trailers. Driverless. They're already testing that in a wider and wider swath out in California. Some of the worst roads ever, right? So you figure out, you kind of go, holy moly, trucking's going to go away? Yeah, that's a thing. That could happen. In China, it's all over the place. Again, I'm not telling you to scare you. I'm telling you about reality. Telling you about reality. It will only notify you that you are fired before you get to work. Maybe. So all jokes aside, I'm saying you've got to start looking at how technology and other things, how advancements are happening. That's not to say that there aren't going to be new jobs, right? It's not to say that there aren't going to be new jobs. But don't you have to think about what new jobs you'd be able to take on? Every year, the United States will update its list of outgoing jobs, incoming jobs. I told you, I used to do college recruiting. Wrote a couple of books about it. And every year we'd update the database on, what jobs are coming in and what jobs are going out. Yeah. And for those kids that were choosing the arts, you kind of sat there and you kind of went, why? Do you not want to eat? Is that it? Great at what they do, can sing, can play music, can dance, all these different things. Not that they suck at what they do. They could be the best. Are you going to be able to make enough money to eat? You want to hear something funny? So YouTube is changing its rules as of, I think, July 15th. Okay. And as of July 15th, I think it's the 15th, you're not going to be able to use AI generated content and expect to get monetized. So all those reaction videos where you have somebody sitting there going, all those stupid ass videos. Yeah, they're like, no, there's no creativity in that. They're trying to say we want original and authentic content. Because it'll stop all those people from snatching videos and all they're doing is sitting there going like idiots. Or these are the worst. I hate those. Those are the worst. The ones that are pointing up. Those are the worst. But all of those reaction videos. So people used to do reaction videos and make big bank. Big bank. Right? That's going away. At first, everybody's thinking, oh, Eddie's talking out his nose right now. He doesn't know what he's talking about, blah, 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 blah. And then you start to realize, holy moly, that is going away. That's an announcement that came out from YouTube today. Either today or yesterday. I think today. No, yesterday. And then you sit there and you kind of go, oh, that was an extra job for people. That was extra income for people. That's going away. Driving cars, Ubers. Logistics. Oh, that's going away. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, you start to realize, holy freaking moly. Remember I used to harp on how kids used to work at fast food restaurants? Kids, high school kids, working at fast food restaurants. Like there used to be only like one or two adults in the whole place. Right? Shift manager, maybe an assistant shift manager, and everybody else was, high school kids, college kids. Who do you see when you walk inside a fast food joint now? If you see anybody, because you walk into McDonald's, there are less workers. Everybody's in the kitchen. Almost nobody up front. You walk over to a kiosk to place your order. Boopity beepity boppity boop. And even then, what's worse, just grates on, even worse, yes, we have a kiosk, but we'd really like you to use your app. Imagine. We really want you to use your app. Sit in the parking lot, use your app, walk inside, get your food. And you wonder why. You wonder why I take this so seriously. This is why. Did I see that Microsoft fired the department that brought up AI for them? I have no idea. But Microsoft dropped 9,000 people. 9,000 people. One of them was one of my friends. Is one of my friends. Been at Microsoft for like 25 years. Thanks. See ya. And this guy is a high earner. He's a salesman. High earner. Consistently number one. And see ya. What? Yeah. Same thing happening when you go to cell phone service provider. They tell you to call customer service. Yep. The stores, they're going to go away. They're going to go away. People are like, no, the stores are going to go away. Here's a trick for you. For you to really understand how the stores are going away. Did you know that most of the stores that you walk into, cell phone stores that you walk into, they're not company stores. It's a third-party vendor selling T-Mobile or Verizon or whatever. They're normally not corporate stores. Not anymore. That changed a long time ago. Yeah. You walk in the store now, they don't have the phone. Like, what? I missed the comment. Great. So put the comment on there. Maybe I'll see it. Repeat it. I don't care. I don't care if you repeat it. Let's see if that makes a difference. Got that one. Yeah. Oh, now I see it. The artist formerly known as Patient One. No, you will always be the patient one. And hello. And you have invested in yourself. That's what I'm talking about. Now, if you could do me a favor, walk over to that guy, and not hard, just enough to be annoying. Just pop him back of the head for me. Just do that for me. Love you. Thanks. I know it wasn't you. I see it now. Had to look up. But yeah, you start to, it's all these tiny little things that you start to see that add up. I know the first time I said that you're going to have to invest to make ends meet, I know I shook a lot of people. I know a lot of people sat there and they said, Eddie's on crack. What's wrong with him? What happened? Eddie, are you okay? Yeah. But then you start to see that, they've got you checking yourself out at the grocery store. Yeah, it's starting to hit you, right? It's starting to hit you. Yeah, they got you checking out at the grocery store as if you work there. I'd be like, nah, I'll take the extra time. Like, nah, you're going to do that. That's not my job. You're going to do that. Because if I go to the store and there are no people no people walking around, I'm done with you. Because whatever I can get at your store, damn well I can get it online. Have it delivered. Tip the person. They'll even pack that crap away for you. So if I'm going to your store and you got me checking out, you can kiss my little... So Lowe's. Note for you. I'm not going back to Lowe's until you get cashiers, bro. I'm done with you. I'm done with Lowe's. I'm done with Lowe's. I told you a while ago, my brother has a term called being Lowe'sed. That means you're being cut off. He refuses to go back to Lowe's. And I used to bug him about it all the time. Because he'd be like, oh yeah, I use this company and they had to get Lowe'sed. It's a family joke. So now here I am saying, literally, I'm not going back to Lowe's because they expect me to check myself out. I don't get a paycheck. I don't get a paycheck. Now, you're thinking Eddie's only thinking about that for himself because he's lazy and he doesn't want to beep. He doesn't want to do. No, that means somebody's out of a job. It's starting to hit you, right? You go to Home Depot and who's got that job? Is it a little high school kid? Is it a little college kid? No, they're freaking adults. Go to Costco, they're freaking adults. They used to be kids. Where are those kid jobs? Name one. Word, Trading Maverick for real, not even an employee discount. Like, what? If I have to check myself out, you know what? If I have to check myself out, give me a 1%, give me a 2% on top of my credit card. Give me that. Give me something. You didn't have to pay a human being. Least you could do is give me a little taste. Them prices are hard. Them prices are hard on the wallet. And I get nothing. I get the joy of checking out myself. Middle finger to that one. But that's where we are. I know all of you right now are starting to take a look at it and you're starting to think in your head like, oh man, this guy's right. No more high school kids working at the fast food restaurants. You have some fast food restaurants that they have robots bringing you your food. You don't even pay a person. There's a little thingamabobby on the table and you pay that. Yeah. You must be tripping. So you put all that together and you start to realize, wow, the jobs really are going away. I had better find something else to do. College grads graduating from college, and wow, that hasn't stopped. I tell my kids all the time, don't leave the house, don't leave the house, don't leave the house, don't leave the house. You know those reels that come out, they're funny as heck. And you know, you got this couple, they're all dressed up, ready to go out, and the man steps out the door, and you know, everything's fine. His wife steps out the door and cha-ching. I mean, it could be reversed too. I mean, you know, I'm just saying, there are women out there that make way more than men. But anyway, the other one steps out and cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Yeah. Prices are going up. Jobs are going away. Prices are going up and things are going away. The new regime is on camera. Well, you know, the farmers will be responsible. They'll have to take responsibility for their workers. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. Slavery. That's what that means. Slavery. Wow. Just look around. Every time you go someplace, look around. Go to a retail store. Who has that job? A grown person has that job. On the golf course, I don't see kids playing caddy anymore. That used to be the case. Grown folks. Grown folks. And I'm like, wow, things are changing in a major fashion, and we're going to have to figure it out. It's not enough that we pay attention to the news. We have to be paying attention to everything that affects our bags. You having a job clearly affects your bag. You bringing value to the table for a company that can afford to pay you so you can afford to live, that affects your bag. Now you know why I'm saying invest. Invest, because hopefully you've done your research, you know your entries and exits, and you're absolutely investing, you know, deliberately, and hopefully you're making a couple of pennies here and there, and then you've got a little something to fall back on. Something. Will do. He has a big heart. Love you too. He does have a big heart. He does have a big heart. I wish he could ship over some freaking ribs, but he does have a big heart. But yeah, I'm looking at everything and I'm just like, more and more municipalities are also making it against the law to be homeless while they blow up the system. Yeah. It's against the law to be. Now, I want you to think about this. I told you I drove down the Myrtle Beach with the fam, and we drove through ghost towns. Empty. Car was quiet. Silence. That's a lot to take in. You're driving through a ghost town as you're going away on vacation. That right there. And it was a vacation / college trip / daughter had a tournament. And we're driving through ghost towns. Everybody was wide awake, just watching, just looking, just mouth agape, just wow. So I say that to say that we've got a ton of land and we have homeless people. We keep talking about how we're the richest in the world and we have homeless people. We have people that can't afford to have food on the table, but we're the richest country in the world. If you can afford $50 million to go get married in Venice, I think you can afford to pay taxes. That could just be me. That could just be me. I'm not mad that you made so much money. Not at all. You can make all that money? Not a problem. Good luck to you. That's awesome. But you should pay it back into the system. You shouldn't be getting tax breaks. There are a lot of things we can do to bring down the debt, and none of it is being done. which means that we have to figure out how to manage our own debt. We have to manage our own debt. And in managing that debt, we've got to figure out how we can save a little so that we can invest a little. Save a little cash for the rainy day. When I replenish that rainy day, take some out, put it over there, and keep that cycle going. Keep investing. Rainy day, got a little extra rainy day, invest. Extra rainy day, invest. Extra rainy day, invest. So I maintain this amount of money in my rainy day, and then I invest. It's a necessity. Some of us are not getting that message. They're not getting the idea that it's a freaking necessity. I taught my son. My younger son works for my older son. You know what my older son said? You can work for me, but the tips you get are going into, they're being invested. Here's your account. Boom, 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 boom. Big brother to little brother. He was like, yeah, that's what's going on. Because if you start now as a little baby brat, by the time you reach a certain age, you will have money, real money. Yeah, something to think about. These are the things I'm trying to pass along. I'm telling you, that's why I told you guys, I'm not living for my first name. Eddie doesn't matter. My kids matter. My kids' matter. So on and so forth and so on and so forth. People call that legacy. I'm not really thinking about it as legacy. I'm thinking about it as the world is getting tougher. They're going to need every advantage that we can hand them. Now, if you're one of those people and you don't have kids, you have nothing to worry about. You have one thing that you must do, and that is live your best life. That's your job. Live your best life. Community will matter more and more. Know what I do for fun? I have a nice little garden that's out there over there. I told you guys about it. Freaking animals came over and they ate everything. But they didn't eat everything. And I've got a nice garden. I got tomatoes in there. I got some herbs, spice. I got some good stuff going on. Next year it'll be bigger. You want to know why? I don't use pesticides. I just got to keep the little bunnies away. But I'm nice. I have a whole other thing that I grow stuff. And it's for the little animals. They can go to that one and they can eat it. But this stuff over here, I keep that gated. But this stuff over here, have at it. And I'll just keep throwing seeds in, let it grow, let it sprout. That's what I'm doing. And I'll grow it more. And I'll add to it and I'll do stuff like that. Because honestly, I don't feel like mowing the lawn anymore. So I'm going to try to go out there and I'm going to try to grow some more stuff. Because it's cheaper and it tastes better. Like for real. Like, you know, my neighbors, my next door neighbors and my neighbors across the street, they're like, the families are like best friends, known each other for like 50 bazillion years, right? Every year they take out this massive pot, and they make tomato sauce for the whole year, jars and everything. Both families out there. It's a whole day thing. A whole day thing. And then it's like the family's growing because now they got grandkids. So now they got a couple of pots, but you look at some families and you go, oh man, that's what you do? You know what I do in my family? Every year I make chili. For the year, we make chili. Yeah. Sounds funny. I have to go to a client office. You know what I do? I bring lunch because I'm not rich. I try to save as much as I can wherever I can. Why? Because it costs money. I have solar. Why? Because energy is going to be a problem. I told you before, energy is going to be a problem. We're projected to not have enough energy by 2035. Actually, I think by 2030. Thank you, patient one. Thank you, Leroy. Yeah, it is nice to give back. Even that little bit. And it's like they know. It's like they know. So they go over to the spot that I have to give them food and stuff like that. And they leave the rest of it alone. They can climb up and get to that. I mean, I did see one dill bush kind of getting, somebody ate it. I'm pretty sure it was a deer because the rest of them can't climb over to get it. So it had to be something tall to be able to get at it. So yeah, and I don't put pesticides on stuff. I'm not putting, none of that. Just let it grow. I'm trying to save money because I can see it. Go into stores and the wrong people have not that the wrong people have the jobs, but you're not expecting a grown ass person to be doing that job. And by the way, I'm not playing about that YouTube thing. AI generated content is not going to be monetized anymore. They're trying to increase the quality of their stuff. They're trying to increase the quality of their offerings, and they know that they're getting bombarded by AI. And I did an experiment. So, we have our own AI set up at my company. We've got like 4 nodes, geographically dispersed. And so when you go to LinkedIn, LinkedIn will tell you that this image was AI generated. It'll give credit to AI generated content. So I purposefully took one of our AIs and I said, I'm going to create an image and I'm going to drop it on there. Let's see if it detects it. Oh, it doesn't detect it. It does not detect it. They're having a hard time. The social platforms are being bombarded by, BS content. There are video engines out there that look so real that you will not be able to tell if that's fake. You'll be like, oh, that's great lighting. Oh my gosh, wow. Oh, that lighting sucks. Oof, you should change your lighting. It's not even a human being. I saw a video about 2 guys that were basically doing home shopping network over in China. And they were like, yeah, no, those aren't the 2 guys. They created avatars of themselves and they did the show 24 hours. The avatars, not them. Body movements, conversation, the whole thing. AI driven, 100% AI driven. Yeah. And they said that they made, I think it was like $2 million, give or take. It's like 2 and change. I'm telling you, step up your game. Step up your game. It's no joke. It's no joke. That's why I get on you guys. I know I have friends out there that are like, yo, man, yeah, Eddie, stop asking us if we've invested in ourselves today. Stop doing that. When you walk out into the world and you realize the person delivering newspapers isn't a kid on a bike. The person that used to be standing there at McDonald's is no longer standing there because there's a kiosk. Lowe's has you checking out yourself. All the cashiers are fucking Home Depot. Excuse my language. Friggin' Home Depot. My mother's going to slap the snot out of me. They are adults. They're adults. I'm reading a book about AI. Where is it? Let me see if I can tell you the name of the book. If you have time, read this book. It's called The Empire of AI by Karen Howe. H-A-O. Karen Howe. Read that book. It's about the advent of the industry, especially when it comes to open AI. And when you get deeper into the book, I'm about halfway through, right? I'm a little less than halfway through the book. And we're talking about how they paid people to actually go through and annotate the book, right? Meaning, not the book, the AI. So they show them an image or they show them text and they categorize it and all that stuff. And the content, I'm not going to give it away, but oof. Go read that book if you have a chance. Go rent it from the library. Go check it out from the library. When you read that book, you will absolutely, and it's hard to listen to. At first, it's pieces. Sometimes it can get a little long, but you battle through it and you'll start going, oh my God, they did that. Oh my God, they did this. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. All for the love of fiat. All for the love of fiat. I don't see them giving back to the environment. I don't see them giving back to the environment. I see them opening up data centers and stealing clean drinking water to cool off their data centers and spit out filthy water from small, poor communities. Yeah, go do some research on that. There's a huge engine out there, and its number one purpose is to make money for very few people. And truth be told, sometimes they're not even trying to make money for those people. They're trying to make money for the entity. It's not even about the people that run it. It's about the entity itself. As if the entity is a being, is a sentient being. Scary. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Don't sit here looking at the markets and saying, oh, the market's going up, I'm making big money. No, you freaking think about it. You think about when the market's going up, and you think about when the market's going to come back down, because it always comes back down. Mr. Big said it before. You know how many people got wrecked? How many people got liquidated because they bet wrong, and in a heartbeat, things just changed and started booming up? Oops. Pay attention. Pay attention, people. That's all I need. Practice the GMB3. Get your nose in the news. And let's start challenging each other about what did you hear. Let's start comparing notes. Let's start really, really, really digging deep and helping each other grow our bags. That's what it comes down to. It has, right now, it has more up days than down days. Other times, it doesn't feel like that. The longer the time, you can say, yes, it has more up days than down days, right? I mean, clearly. But it's not going to feel like that when you're the one hurting for money. And that's how people get wrecked. People can get wrecked in either direction, by the way. Like I said, market went up. People that were betting on it to go down a little bit more got wrecked. Liquidated. Poof, money gone. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Now, Sunday is the big bagger meeting. If you want to be a big bagger, make sure you sign up to be a big bagger. Make sure I get your email address, and we'll add you to that meeting. It's Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're a big bagger, you should have already gotten your email with the time. I put the time and the date on there this time. It's not going to be a long one. I'm going to tell you that right now, because Sunday is my son's birthday. I should have made it next week, or I should have done it last week, but I didn't. I was busy. So Sunday is my son's birthday. There will not be a Sunday roundup. There'll be a big bagger meeting, but no Sunday roundup. There'll be articles released, but no Sunday roundup. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes, tell your friends about us. And if you're not a bagger or a big bagger yet, become one. We got a lot of stuff going on, and this is just a tip of the iceberg. Thank you for that, Chicano. Thank you. Very nice. Very nice. Where did you subscribe, Chicano? Monday's your birthday, Leroy? Wow. Happy early birthday. But sign on. I'll tell you happy birthday on Monday. Chicano, you subscribed? Where? On the site? Did you get an email? Like, I don't even know your email address. Did you get an email? I need to know. You're welcome, Leroy. Itinerary for Sunday? Before, during the show? Like, what's up? My son's birthday? Whatever he wants. Whatever he wants. That's how it works. I know he wants a cake. I know he wants a cake. He wants a Costco cake, no less. Costco cakes are good. I ain't even gonna lie. Costco cakes are good. All right. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you so much for your trust. Everybody have a great night. Patient one. Don't forget, right in the back of the head. Okay? Have a good night, everybody. See you Sunday if you're a big bagger. Have a good one. During the meeting last time, there was a bit of discussion about that. Yeah, and nobody sent me anything. I sent the emails out and nobody sent anything for topics for Sunday. Just putting that out there for you. So I get to choose whatever the heck I want to choose. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.